what do an astrophysics does?
What does an astrophysics person do? An astrophysicist studies the universe, and I mean phenomena all from planets to stars to galaxies to the universe as a whole, and basically tries to explain all the phenomena that we see in the universe.
And how do you explain the creation of the universe?
Well, we don't really explain the creation at the moment, and I don't even like so much to use the word creation. What we do is basically we push the questions far back as far as we can. So we know, for example, and for this there is great scientific evidence, that our universe started from a very dense, hot state some 13.8 billion years ago, and we call that the Big Bang.
All right. You said you don't want to use the word creation. Creation, it's like talking about God. Do an astrophysics like you believe that it's a God or there is something like God?
Well, I do not talk about God much. I mean, the thing is, you know, what we can find is the laws of physics and how the universe behaves. Now, of course, this leaves room for people who are religious or, you know, want to believe in a creator. They can always say that the laws of physics are what they are because some deity wanted them to be there. But as a physicist, I don't answer such questions. I just deal with the fact of to where can I push our knowledge and how does everything evolve according to the laws of physics from there on.
But it's not a contradiction. I was one time talking with a Nobel Prize at chemistry, Edna, from Israel, and we were started talking about if there is God or there is not God, and if there is God in physics or in chemistry, or if there is God in a personal life.
Yes.
Like a Jew, is there God in a personal life?
So of course, there are many people who feel that they need a God in their personal life who guides their moral behavior, their ethics, and things like that. Physics has nothing really to say about the question of existence or not of God.
And tell me, like a physics, what is the most important thing we can learn from the universe? It's a complex, it's like being there and everything in order.
The most important thing we can learn from the universe, well, first of all, we can learn that on one hand, our physical existence is extremely tiny because we live on an ordinary small planet around an ordinary star, of which there are about 400 billion stars like this in our own galaxy, and there are now about 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. So, from a physical perspective, our existence is very small, and we should remember that. But also, what we learn is that the human mind is still capable of understanding all of this. So even though we are so physically small, we have been able to learn a lot about the whole universe.
Do you believe that it can be something else in the universe, some other life, some other places, something? What will interest you about the universe, about this space? What does it?
Well, there are many questions, but I would say that the one I'm most curious about right now is actually if there is life outside the solar system, and in particular if there is complex life outside the solar system. And I believe we are at a state where within 20 to 30 years we will actually may know the answer to this. I may not live for another 30 years to see the answer.
Like we said, till 120, but
yes.
Why do you think it's going to be so fast? What do you know? Because it's one of the things that it's one of the questions that most people do. Is there? It cannot be possible that we're the only existing life in the universe in whole many.
Yes, so, but we don't know that. You know, we have to find out. And the reason I say 20 to 30 years is because, you know, we have now discovered lots of Earth-sized planets orbiting stars like the Sun in our own galaxy. We know that there are billions of such systems, and we are developing the telescopes that are able to characterize the atmospheres of these planets, you know, and tell us if there are some biosignatures there, signatures that can only be produced by life.
Tell me something, what is the normal day of astrophysics? Because we think it's like being in the street, going to be looking at a telescope all day, doing calculations all day. We have a program that speaks about physics, and you talk about Big Bang. What is a normal life? Because we have an imagine of what there is.
Well, a normal life, you see, there is a difference between an astronomer and an astrophysicist.
Right, yes.
Astronomers do the observations.
Yes.
So they need to sometimes go to telescopes or at least work with telescopes that are in space. And they do the observations, and then they need to reduce the data, and they need to analyze the data and produce results. Astrophysicists, like myself, who are theorists, we develop mathematical models. And we develop mathematical models that try to explain the observations. So basically, our day consists typically of, doing calculations, working with a computer, running simulations, things like that.
We are here at Ciudad de las Ideas. What do you think is the most important thing you want to leave to the people here at Ciudad de las Ideas, that they start thinking about it, or think about astrophysics, think about the universe, or think about God or any other thing? What is the most important you want to leave these people?
Well, here at Ciudad de las Ideas, I actually spoke about human curiosity.
Exactly.
And that's really what I want people to be left with, namely the importance of our curiosity, because it is curiosity that leads to a better education, a better science, better artworks, all that, better conversation, better relationships among humans. So curiosity, the importance of curiosity, that's what I want people here to go away with.
And just to finish, what is the most curiosity thing you have seen here, or you want to see, or you saw in your life? What is the most curious thing you invested and you said, with my curiosity I found this? What is it?
Well, you see, during my work, we discovered partly this business about planets around other stars, yes, and things like that. And also, during my lifetime, we discovered that the expansion of the universe is accelerating. So these are incredible things that were discovered during my lifetime. We now discovered in the past year gravitational waves, which I wasn't sure I will ever see during my lifetime. But now, the thing I still am left still most curious about is there life elsewhere?
We hope you can see it, we can see it, and our children will see it. And why not? Maybe find somebody that we can interview there outside of our solar system.
It will take a while.
Thank you.